a lot has happened in the streaming world in 2025, and I believe there's a lot to learn from. So in this video, I'd like to talk about trends that I believe streamers will follow or adopt in 2026. I'll be giving you a little bit of facts, some predictions, and of course, some hope. So hopefully by the end of the video, you will be ready for the new year, ready to tell me if my predictions are wrong. I think with the success of streamers like Kaisenat, Queso, Moist Critical, etc., a large portion of streamers are realizing that they do not need a bunch of stuff on screen. Even streamers who play competitive games have been simplifying their whole setup. So I believe in 2026, we will see more clean setups. Now we're already familiar with a clean setup that utilizes blur with your camera and very minimal graphics. And since this is something that's achievable within broadcasting software like OBS Studio, I believe more and more streamers are going to utilize things like the Apple's liquid glass type of effect in order to display information on screen so it's not too distracting and stays very clean. Of course, I have a tutorial on how to do it from scratch, utilizing a couple of OBS Studio plugins, but also IndieLeapy has a shader for it. So in a couple clicks, you can have that going. Now, it's pretty much impossible to predict anything without mentioning AI, and the question is, how is it going to affect the streaming world? Now, in general, all companies are pouring their money into AI right now, and I believe it's actually going to slow down in certain areas when companies realize that, well, nobody wants that. But at the same time, we might actually get something useful out of AI, and that's me being very optimistic here. For example, Twitch already announced an auto clip feature that will utilize AI in order to figure out where to clip stuff. Now, this is a service that a couple of companies already offer, but at a price. So if Twitch integrates this correctly and for free, it'll be amazing. This would actually be a good use of AI. Of course, this is not generative AI. It's not streaming instead of you. It's actually being useful in removing the hassle of going back, watching your VODs to clip stuff. Now, how ethical this is going to be? Is it using renewable energy? Is it using a data center that is, I don't know, poisoning the water and killing a bunch of puppies? I don't know yet. We will have to see. Speaking of Twitch, they already announced their dates for 2026, and there's something important to note here is that it's going to be on November 13 and 15 for the San Diego Con, which a lot of people are already saying that they're not going to. For some reason, they keep pushing it further and further towards the end of the year, and at this point, it is no longer within that bracket of like summer vacation at all. So in my opinion, they might get less attendance to this TwitchCon, but also a lot of people who attended in 2025 were saying that they will never go to TwitchCon ever again because of that assault situation that happened. TLDR, a lot of streamers were already saying that they didn't feel safe enough to go to TwitchCon. Twitch and their CEO have made statements prior, I'm talking months before TwitchCon, saying that they really cared about security and safety and that they were doing everything possible to keep everyone safe, that they were reinforcing security and blah, blah, blah. But in the end, a high-profile streamer and a friend of the CEO, according to him, ended up being assaulted and there were no con security to be seen. Now, for my negative prediction, I'm pretty sure we're probably not going to see any improvement when it comes to security. I really hope I am wrong on that. But I also predict that due to the low attendance, we're probably not going to have any major incidents. That's also me hoping. Predictions about the Just Chatting category. I don't think I'm gonna say anything surprising here. I still think it's going to be one of the most popular categories as every year, basically. It is the category that technically makes the most money, according to a couple of leaks that we had a couple of years ago. But that's definitely not going to change. Potentially, we might get something big happening, like a major celebrity deciding to become a full-time streamer. And it's probably gonna be like a music artist or an actor. Now, I know I'm showing Twitch, but it doesn't have to be on Twitch. It can be just YouTube or Kick or whatever. A category that we do need to talk about is the IRL category. I believe we will see more and more IRL live streamers in 2026. Unfortunately, with IRL, I think the stories that blow up the most are not the positive ones, but mostly like when awful things happen. In 2025, we've seen so many IRL streamers commit crimes, get arrested, die. So my prediction is, unfortunately, we will see more of that. I do believe there will be more wholesome things happening too, but unfortunately, those are not the stories that go viral. So yeah, I'm calling it now. More crimes, more arrests. Hopefully nothing too horrible. Hopefully no one dies this year. Now, despite whatever is happening with TikTok in the US, I do believe we will see more and more people start live streaming or just focus on live streaming on TikTok. TikTok has been investing a lot in their live platform, but ever since they stopped giving people keys and kind of forced them to use their TikTok Live Studio software, it led into two reactions. Either people stopped streaming on TikTok altogether, or they stopped streaming everywhere else to focus on streaming on TikTok. And honestly, at this point, this platform is so huge that they could easily come up with some incentives to make people want to stream on there. That being said though, I did mention that they're not giving away stream keys. There's actually a bunch of ways to multi-stream to TikTok without needing a key. Speaking of different platforms, my first prediction about YouTube is that they will probably still not offer the same experience as streaming on Twitch or on Kick for that matter. Yes, I know your favorite YouTuber keeps telling you, oh, YouTube is making moves. Oh, YouTube is introducing clips. Oh my God, that's so cool. Come on now. Watching a stream on YouTube and watching a stream on Twitch is just not the same vibe. And I don't think they'll ever be able to replicate that. My second prediction about YouTube is that more and more streamers are actually going to be utilizing YouTube Shorts. Again, to mention the rise of Kai Cenat, Queso, Moist Critical, and people like that, I think new YouTubers realize the power of YouTube when it comes to bringing traffic to their stream or just making some side income. That being said, again, when it comes to vertical short form content, YouTube manages to be pretty much the worst. Like, it's awesome that they're dropping their own editor app, but to this day, you cannot change your thumbnail from desktop on your shorts. Please do keep in mind that YouTube Shorts is 5 years old. 5 years for the most basic feature, which by default makes TikTok the superior platform for short form content. Meanwhile, TikTok gives you your hashtag history, shows you exactly how your video is going to look like on people's feed, on your profile, and on TV. Gives you the ability to edit the video, to browse audio and use a song, to immediately control the volume, trim, even use templates if you want, and of course, edit the cover, and even upload a file if you want to. Look at that, you can even crop it. You can even crop the file that you uploaded. YouTube, you're owned by Google. You're supposed to be rich, millionaire. Why don't you have those options? Why? It's been 5 years. Anyways, my point is, we don't even want TikTok to be the dominant platform, but YouTube is so garbage that yeah, like TikTok is giving us all the options we need, and streamers don't even want to upload to TikTok in the first place. And on top of that, TikTok has CapCut, which has a desktop app. They're light years ahead of YouTube. It doesn't make sense. Even Instagram has their own editing app now, but it's not on desktop. On a more positive note, I do believe that game developers will be working with streamers a little bit more. Maybe that's just me hoping, but we are at this point where live streamers, or some live streamers, actually have a lot of pull when it comes to influence, and having live streamers play your game could literally determine the success of said game. Maybe we'll see some live streamers involved directly in the creation of games. Please do remember that platforms like Lurkit and Xsola still have a bunch of campaigns where you can make money for playing games on stream, so you do not have to do the very low paying ones that Twitch is directly pushing towards you. So my hope for 2026 is that developers or game companies actually come up with a budget for live streamers when they're making their game. It should be part of the marketing budget. And for small indie game creators, I don't think that's a problem. I feel like there's a ton of like cozy live streamers that will play your game, but I always encourage you to, find something to offer. Maybe, hey, if you play the beta, I'll put your name in the end credits. If people use your code to buy our game, we'll design an NPC after you. Something cool like that. And my final prediction for 2026 is you will have fun. You will be happy. You will meet new online friends. You will not burn out. You will not set up a schedule that you cannot follow. You will take content creation seriously. Oh, you will learn a new skill. You will get sponsored, and it'll be worth your time. You will get hate comments, but the overwhelming majority of the rest will be positive. You will meet your goals, but only the realistic ones. You will find the strength, the motivation, the productivity, but most importantly, and again, you will have fun. And that is what I believe will happen in 2026. Make sure you subscribe and you set your notifications to all. Like this video, share it with your streamer friends, and happy holidays.